As you know, San Diego Entertainer and Lifestyles magazine and TV show is your place for everything San Diego, and what's talked about more today than the matters of money. So we have connected with Steve Sexton, the president of Sexton Advisory Group, and he's going to be talking about just that. Now, Steve has had his own Money Minute segment on Channel 6 for over a year, and he's also been a financial guru to the San Diego Entertainer magazine for longer than that. Steve has been providing sound financial services to Southern California residents for over 15 years and is in the top 1% of money managers in the entire country. His advice has helped thousands of people, not just in print and TV, but he's also held many free workshops. Plus, he's been working very closely with charities for the past several months, using a very unique concept he's going to talk about today. He just hosted a special event recently with legendary entertainer Pat Boone that brought hundreds of people together to honor our military and celebrate charitable giving. We caught up with Steve recently at one of his offices in Rancho Bernardo. Steve, thank you so much for being with us today. We're honored to have you be on our show. You've been very busy with TV and print and on Channel 6's San Diego Living with your own Money Minute segment for over a year. So we're grateful to have you with us today on our show.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. And the first thing I want you to talk to us about is this unique concept that you have. I understand your specialty is evaluating an individual's financial plan thoroughly and finding money that's fallen through the cracks. It sounds intriguing. Can we start with that and you tell us a little bit about
Sure.
that?
Angel, what we do is we put the people we work with through a simple 3-step review discovery process. Now, we ask them questions about their estate plan, their tax plan, how their income flows onto their tax return, as well as what their investment plan is all about. And then we ask them questions about their personal situation, their personal financial situation, and we overlay them on each other. Now, we take that from not only a now look, but a look forward proactive look. When we do that, we start identifying ways that we can help people assure whatever decision they've made is the right or wrong one for them. When we start doing this and ask all those questions, we start finding thousands of dollars falling through the cracks. And as a result, we've been able to help people reduce their taxes, save money on fees, and we've also helped them reduce federal income taxation, sometimes tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars that are going off to the ones that they love.
And Steve, I understand you offer this consultation for free?
Well, we do, but there's a caveat there. We want to make sure we're going to be able to work with somebody. Plus, we want to be able to understand what somebody's situation is before they move forward, because with our firm, we want to make sure they're a good fit for our firm as well. So we do offer it for free.
Steve, so for today's show, will you touch on a couple topics that are hot on people's minds regarding money matters? Can you give us some expert advice?
Sure. You know what? In the economy, there's a lot going on right now. We're starting to find out that unemployment's remaining stagnant at a little over 9%. We found out the Federal Reserve isn't going to be raising interest rates. And many economists don't think they're going to be raising them for 3, 4, maybe 5 years. And as a result, that affects a lot of people that have CDs at 1.5% interest rate, but inflation's about 2%, and then they're paying taxes on that. More importantly, we have people that are in bond funds. Now, bond funds, the average bond fund's returning somewhere between 2.9 and about 3.5%. And what people do is they'll take all that money out for income, but what they're not realizing is they're paying 1.5% to their advisor of that 3%. And then they're paying taxes on top of that, and then they have 2% inflation. And the reality is they're churning down their money. And people need to wake up to this, because you know what, 4 or 5 years down the road, they're going to lose a lot of money. And on top of that, what happens if we have another downturn? I mean, it's almost like a Michael Jackson moonwalk. You know what, you look really great, you think you're moving forward, but you're actually moving backwards. Now, the second thing is this. Since we're in very turbulent times and we're seeing stock prices go up and down, I mean, we've lost 7% and gained back 2% all in the last 6 months. Now, what people are doing is they're not focusing on the sectors of the marketplace that are growing. And they're pretty easy to identify. I mean, what is the country putting money into? Energy, or alternative energy. We see gas prices going up. There's a lot to go about healthcare and technology. You know, the other thing is people are still stuck with companies and holding them in their portfolio that have no value. And what I mean by that is the analysts believe a stock might be worth $100 a share. And the stock price might be $130 a share, which means it's overvalued. it's not moving forward much any further. In fact, when the market goes down, it's going to go down significantly. So people need to take the time now to sit down with their advisor to understand what type of portfolio they should have moving forward, especially in these turbulent times.
And the next thing we want to talk about is about your charitable giving and the unique concept that you've coined that brought about this whole charity event with Pat Boone. Can you tell us about how that came about?
Angel, as you know, Pat Boone's one of the who's who's of legendary entertainers. And you know what? When we started talking to him about this event, he got very excited because it covers his two major passions, which are the military and charitable giving. Angel, just a little less than 5 years ago, I found out I had colon cancer. Had to go through an emergency surgery and 6 months worth of chemotherapy. And when I was in the hospital, there was a gentleman in the room next to me that had just lost his eyesight due to an accident. There was a charity in there helping he and his family get used to his new life situation. And when I was going through chemo, there was ladies that brought in wigs for the ladies going through breast cancer. It was really cool because it was like the fashion day for wigs. And then there were other people in there that were chemo buddies that helped people get back and forth between chemo. And I thought, you know what, life's been really good to me and I survived this and I need to give back. I thought, you know what, maybe I could serve meals, mop floors, but you know what, my skills are in the financial planning field. I help people find money falling through the cracks. So I found the Financial Knowledge Institute. They're a 501c3 that doesn't take any donations. It's all supported from the advisors because the focus is to provide good education to people who are employed at businesses so they can make better financial decisions. We teach them about